Overheating. So today we're going back in time a little bit. 10 years too late, I think, well, more than 10 years too late. This was released in 2005. So we're going to have a go at repairing an Xbox 360. This particular one has a red ring of death. So we're going to work through the process of giving it a good repair and getting it back to a working state. So first thing I'm going to do is tear this down, get the board out, and then lots of heat, lots of flux, and hopefully we'll be all right. So yeah, this one specifically is the Elite model, which is really good. So let's try and see if we can remember how to get this apart, because it has been more than a few years since I took one apart. I think this just lifts, if I remember rightly. Or is this the one that's clipped in? It might be clipped in, you know. Yeah, I think it is clipped in. Let's just grab a metal tool as well. So holes in the side here, pretty sure. There you go, look, we're release on that side now. Just do the same over here. Or maybe it's just force. It's been a few years since I've had to do one of these, I'm not going to lie. It's definitely clipped in, but I was sure that you just released it there. Maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. Let's just try this element. This is probably the right way, the wrong way to be going about it, but I'm sure people will be screaming at me in the comments before long. I'm sure that there were clips down the side. I can just see them through the plastic. I can just see them through the plastic here, where the clips are. So let's just get a. There you go. Look. Let's release this one as well. There you are. Oh, maybe I was right. That one's just very stuck. It's just, it wants to go, but... Oh, there we go. Bent it a little bit, but that's all right. All right, that's our top piece off. That exposes all of that. Now flip this over. We've got to do something very similar down here. So you push through on each of these pieces and then it will lift out. I don't know if there's a trick to lifting it and poking it at the same time. Let's see if we can give this one a go. There we are, that's better. Again, we'll just stick our spudger through there to hold it. And it's just a question then of poking through on each one, look. There we go. And then the back ones. Oh, there we are, it freed itself, great. Okay, next thing, front cover, which is just unclipped, if I remember rightly. Oh, got some damage there that we need to fix, but that's fine, we'll do that a bit later. Amazingly, this one has still got its seal intact. It's never been opened, which is amazing. So I'm going to void the Microsoft warranty. Something tells me we're not going to be claiming on this anytime soon. So divide our case, and then I'm going to go to the back. Now the clips are all of these little holes. And from what I remember, you should just be able to push stuff into each one. And there we are, and they'll release. This one might be a little bit more. So you can sort of hear it wanting to go. There we are. There we are. And there's one just under the sticker up this end. I'm aware these pliers are now, these tweezers are now bent to hell, but that's fine. for what I want to do with them, it will do the job. There we are. Brilliant. There's a panel off, and then down here, this little bit, pop that off. Okie dokie. Now this is the bit that takes ages. All of these screws around the outside need to come out, and then we can separate the two halves. These are for our X clamps that we do later. I think we need to do that one as well. So we'll get those freed, and then we can get the other side off, then we can get to the board. So let's try and find the bit that's the right size. That one is not. That one is a T8, so we're probably going to need something like a T10, I would imagine. Yeah, there you go. I can't remember if it's these ones or if it's the silvers. It might be the silver ones, but we'll just keep going until we separate it. I think it is the silver ones, you know. They've all got to come out regardless, so let's just do the silver ones first, and then we'll see if the other half comes off, which will answer our question as to what we need to do first. It's been a few years since I've had to repair an Xbox. Last time I did it, it was because the laser had failed on the drive. Right, that's all of our metal ones. Let's just see if this comes away. Oh, it's feeling good. Hurrah! It's not actually too grubby either, which is great. We'll clean that back up before it goes back together. Good. Right, next thing we do. Disk drive, I think it is, if I remember rightly. And we've got some little silver tape down the bottom here that has never been undone, so let's just lift that up a bit. At least there's no one that's been in this Xbox, which is great. It makes my life easier. And what we'll do is we'll undo these two, so SATA and power cables come out. Oh, come on. Heard something ping then. I don't know where it pinged from, so. Right, so that's that. Fan shroud. Come on. There we go. It's a little bit grubby as well, but it's not too bad. Right, fans. These are hooky ones. You make me do it the proper way. No. I always used to hate getting these out. Maybe we'll start with that one first. There we are. Took a second. Now you just push them away from you and they will come. Like that. Oh, those are pretty gross. We'll give those a good clean. Right, next thing I think we'll do is we'll get this board freed. I don't know where that came from. I think this needs to come off as well, if I remember rightly. We'll deal with those screws in just a second. No, we'll actually have to do those first because... Right, is it a T10? No, it is not. I'm going to go with a T8 for this one, I think. Yeah, it's a T8. Okay, and then this should come out. There we are. That's our front button assembly. Okay, next thing we do is the ones that I said the first time that we should have done, which we didn't need to do. So the gold ones are next. Pretty sure that more or less frees the board. And then we've got to do the X clamps as well, which I'm reckoning those are probably a T8 as well. Okay. Just throwing my screw around the room, don't mind me. Okie dokie. And yeah, they are a T8, so that's nice and easy. 2 to go. Oh, didn't quite undo that one enough. Right, that's our board freed. Okay, turn this over carefully. And then I think we can lift up at the front and that'll allow us to get the back out. So again, pop this off to one side. Got a nice collection going on off to my left. And then the X clamps. Now these, I think, if I remember rightly, are well and truly hooked under. And I'm pretty sure we need to unhook them from the end of the clamp. I don't know if this is going to be good enough to do it. And the blocks have already fallen away. Look. That is some pretty crusty thermal paste. Let's take this out of the way as well. And this out of the way. Oh, come on, you want to unplug? There we are. So, I want to get all of this cleaned up, or at least some of it cleaned up, before I start reapplying the new stuff.
A few moments later.
Right, that's as clean as I can get it. I've given the board a quick once over as well off camera. So next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put some flux around the edge, and then we're going to heat the board up. I'll have my setting on about 400 degrees. I'm going to do it for about 5 minutes, because the reason we're doing this is you get dry solder joints around the edges of the CPU and GPU. So we're going to just get this nice and hot around the edge here. Allow the flux to seep in a bit. This is probably the worst flux applicator you've ever seen, mind you. We'll allow the flux to seep in a bit. And hopefully that will sort out our dry solder joints. And then we'll be good to go. We'll leave that to cool because that's now super hot, and then we'll go back to reassembling. Right, so I've given that a chance to cool down now, so the next thing we're going to do is to get the flux, the leftover flux off of the board. I want to leave it in a bit of a tidier state than it's in right now. Don't want to leave it quite so mucky. Right, next thing to do, we need to get some more thermal paste on this now. It has dried out, which is good, and then we can put our heat sinks back on. So let's grab some Cooler Master thermal paste that I have kicking around, and we want a little blob on there, and a little blob on there, and a little blob on there. And it's only going to get a little blob because I've just run out. That's good timing. Right, so let's just remind myself which way round these go, because I can't remember, which is a little bit stupid of me. I'm pretty sure it's that way, and I'm pretty sure that one goes on this side. And if it's wrong, I'm going to be taking the whole Xbox apart in a minute to put it back. Right, so we need to get these on one X clamp at a time. And these are, from what I remember, an absolute pain. I've already dropped a heatsink. Let's pop that heatsink off to one side, and We'll just focus on doing one first. And I can't remember if they just will clip in or I'm going to have more faff. Oh no, it might just be alright. There you go, just clipped in. That's okay then. Let's do the other one now. Carefully. Pretty sure it sits that way around. And if it doesn't, I'm going to have a problem when I come to reassembly. Come on into place, you little monkey. Alright, we'll do that one first then. I'm trying not to pry against my finger that I cut as well. As you can see, I'm already beginning to bleed on stuff. Go and get me a new plaster and I'll come back and finish this. Right, we've got a plaster again. Now let's get this back on. If it's going to go. It may not. God, that really don't want to go on there. Let's just take this off and start again and see if I can make it hook over then. Okay. Already more progress than before. Well, one done. Oh, definitely more progress than before. Last one. Yes! Right. The question is, did I put that in the right place? Let's grab the bottom and then we can find out if I did. We'll soon know because I won't be able to get the fans in if I got it in the wrong place. That's not the piece I want. Right, I think I have. There we go. We dropped in. Right. I think I've got it the right way round. We're soon about to find out though. Right, next thing, we're going to go back in with our fans. Fans are in. It's still a bit dusty, but it's much better than it was. I did give it a good blast off camera. So it's looking okay. I'm just a little bit concerned this should be over there because it's now hidden, which I think it probably should be, given that. So if I turn it that way, no, that must be the right way, unless I've got these around the wrong side, at which point it would be over here blowing directly in the fan. I reckon I've got that around the wrong way, you know. Okie dokie, my fight with the X-clamps continues. I am happy to report that I did make one small mistake. This one should be that way so the air flows through, but this does sit on this side, so my mistake was not too bad. So let's just quickly take these fans back out, and then I can just quickly rotate that round without too much hassles. After a significant amount of swearing and cutting myself at the second time to go with my first cut, I have got the second X-clamp back on, so we are in a much better place now. I hate Xbox. I remember now why I hate them so much. Right, board back in. What do we want to do next? Fans. Let's grab our fans. And we will put them this way round. Let's get our connector done up. Come on, let's turn it the other way around so I can actually see would help. There we go. There's two little blobs in the bottom that line up with holes on the board, that's also. We will connect this back into. Not sure which end was which, so we'll just go with this way. Doesn't really matter massively, we can all swap them around. Okay, next thing we're going to do, oh, there's a helicopter going overhead, hopefully you can't hear that too much. Let's get all of our screws back in for everything. Right, we want a T8 to start with. And what we'll do is we'll put all of these little black screws back in first, and hopefully they will just reach into place and pull the board up for me. Okay, that's everything fixed in. Disk drive next. Perfect, right. Let's go and grab a power lead and then we can give this a test. Actually, we need to pop this bit back in first before we do that. So let's just quickly do that. Again, I'm not going to fix this in fully yet until we've tested. So let's go and grab a power lead and then we can give this a quick test and see if we still get the red ring of doom. Right, before we were getting 4 red lights here, let's see if we don't get some greenies. Yes! We have fixed our red ring. That is superb, even with fighting with those X-clamps, which was a bit of a horror show. I have got it on the screen in front of me, not that you can see that, but oh, I'm so glad that's working. Amazing. Right, let's flick this back off and then let's get everything repaired and put back together. And there we go. One fixed Xbox with no longer a red ring of death. That was an experience. That took me a good hour to get that teared down and resolved. So there you go. Let's just pop the hard drive back in just so we're complete. And that, you can't even do that properly. Look. There we are, completely done. One Xbox all fixed up and ready to rumble. Good, well, if you found that useful, please drop me a like, leave me a comment. I always do try and respond to them. And hopefully I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.